And a live look outside. Big tides, big surf on the way, along with some hot temperatures. Island weather meteorologist Pete Cajano is tracking it all. Pete.
That's right. We are.
All right, thank you so much, Pete. Meanwhile, check out what the tide washed up on Maui's west side yesterday. A monk seal lounging right next to Honoapi'ilani Highway. A car, as well as a Maui police officer, stopping on the side of the road to help protect it. The water level has been a constant issue along this stretch of road. A Change.org petition calling on the State Department of Transportation to realign the highway more inland has nearly 500 signatures. Now to an Island News exclusive. Hawaii U.S. Senator Mazie Hirono speaking on camera for the first time about her battle with kidney cancer. She spoke only to Island News anchor Paula Akana today in Washington, D.C.
As long as I'm okay, and I'm not doing stupid things, so I just want to reassure everyone that I don't consider myself a superwoman or anything. I'm going to take care of myself, but I also want to do my job.
As President Trump...
Last month, a senator had one of her kidneys removed after being diagnosed with stage 4 kidney cancer. The 69-year-old woman last hospitalized when she was 17 years old. Tonight on Island News at 6, find out what her next step is in her fight and how she plans on balancing work and health. Today, also National Kidney Cancer Day. Now, the senator also criticized the president's plans on immigration today. She joined senators from California and New Jersey, along with immigrants and advocates, in demanding reduced funding for President Trump's deportation budget. The senator sent a letter to their colleagues requesting the decreased funding for President Trump's detention beds and deportation force. They also request no funding for what they call the unnecessary and costly border wall. Well, home invasion robbery on the Big Island on Monday. Tonight, 2 suspects still on the loose. A 54-year-old man and his 10-year-old son held at gunpoint at their North Glenwood Road home in Puna. Both suspects were masked, but the man was able to remove the mask from the suspect holding the shotgun. That's a sketch that you see right there on the screen. There was a struggle, and the gun was fired once, but no one was injured. He's described as being in his late teens to early 20s, about 5'6", 140 pounds, with dark eyes and dark hair. He was wearing a black jacket and pants. The second suspect, believed to be a man in his late teens to early 20s, about 5'9", 140 pounds, wearing a black hoodie and pants. The suspects got away with a small safe. Anyone with information, call Big Island Crime Stoppers at 961-8300. While facing overcrowding and deteriorating facilities, the replacement of OCCC jail has hit its next phase. A newly released study by the State Department of Safety suggesting environmental inspection surveys be conducted on their top 4 rated sites. Those 4 sites include the Animal Quarantine Facility, the existing OCCC development site, the Halawa Correctional Facility, and Mililani Technology Park. OCCC has been under tremendous scrutiny by the ACLU for its dilapidated conditions and overcrowding. As of January 27th of this year, there were about 1,100 male inmates and 100 female inmates housed at OCCC. It's built to house just 950 inmates.
We continue to hold that place together as best we can, but it is outdated, needs to be replaced. Additionally, the land under which the facility sits now has an additional value that was not in place years previous, considering the fact that the train will be going right by there.
Now, the new facility is estimated to cost $645 million if it hits its proposed construction timeframe of early 2020. Meanwhile, Governor David Ige is signing into law House Bill 844 this afternoon. It requires that the Public Safety Department provide inmates with the opportunity to obtain identification information 90 days before they are released. That includes Social Security cards, birth certificates, and other forms of ID.
Currently, this process can take weeks or months, which can be a challenge for newly released inmates that are trying to assimilate back into the community.
The bill signing represented the first bill passed by Representative Cedric Gates, who was elected into the chamber last November. And a 23-year-old man is behind bars tonight, suspected of choking a 9-year-old girl twice. Honolulu police say it happened around noon on June 15th. The man was arrested a few days later. An abuse case has been opened. A Kauai man pleaded no contest in court yesterday in a vehicular manslaughter case. Kauai police say 36-year-old Evan Kraft, originally from California, is accused of killing Michael Helpy Jr. in 2015. Witnesses say Kraft and Helpy arguing outside a bar when police say Kraft ran over Helpy with his car, killing him. Kraft faces up to 20 years in prison when sentenced in September. Governor David Ige today signing another bill into law that would make sprinklers in new homes optional. It's designed to extend prohibition on county requirements for automatic sprinklers or sprinkler systems for detached dwelling units. Ige says with the high cost of living in Hawaii, this could help families cut back on the extra expense.
Certainly, this measure seeks to balance the cost of a home against the protections that would be added by having or requiring a fire sprinkler system.
Governor Ige says adding fire sprinklers in new Oahu homes adds $25,000 to the price of the home, and on Maui more than $72,000. Well, some Oahu renters are cashing in by subleasing through sites like Airbnb. The Star Advertiser reporting that the City Department of Planning and Permitting wants to crack down on it. Right now, subleasing through vacation rental sites is legal with the landlord's permission. Real estate analysts say some people rent out their place for $1,000 a week. One-bedroom rentals typically cost between $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Still ahead on Island News at 5, the future of health care in the United States. Republicans in Congress released their plan to replace Obamacare, but how will it affect you? And summer jobs are plentiful this year, but why aren't students taking advantage? The answer next on Island News.
You're watching Island News at 5.
Welcome back. 15 more mumps cases confirmed on Oahu today, bringing the total number for the year to 119. Now, the new cases include 8 adults and 7 children. None of the cases so far have required hospitalization. The most common symptom of mumps are inflamed salivary glands near the jawbone. The best way to protect your family, ensure everyone has the MMR vaccine. Well, today, U.S. Senate Republicans releasing their health care bill that aims to replace Obamacare. The bill was largely worked on behind closed doors, which means many Republicans are reading it for the first time. The bill repeals the Obamacare individual mandate, cuts back support for Medicaid, and eliminates Obamacare taxes on wealthy Americans and insurers. But it protects coverage of pre-existing conditions.
I want them to pass the bill so we can all get on with keeping our promise.
This is a nasty bill, and they're trying to cover it up with little things here and there.
House Majority Leader Mitch McConnell wants to vote on the bill by the 4th of July holiday. Well, some of those summertime help wanted signs are still hanging. There are not enough teenagers filling the job openings. KITV's Mika Miyashima reports that more and more teens are opting to choose summer studies over summer jobs.
Summertime.
Well, drones are becoming more common in the air. Now, a California company is looking at ways to monitor them. Each drone manufacturer operates on different signals and transmitters. Engineers at Aerospace Corporation can take over a bad drone while not interfering with those with legitimate purposes.
You're a hobbyist. And that means humid weather will be with us. Also, a little higher rain chance for Sunday into Monday. But right now,
man, every time we see that humidity
it's not
graphic,
not something to look forward to. Huh?
No, not at all. All right, thank you so much, Pete. Well, one man is living every child's, or rather adult's dream. California resident Jeff Reitz visited Disneyland Resort for the 2000th consecutive day. He started his happiest journey January 1st, 2012. Reitz, who's a Disneyland Resort annual pass holder, is also an Air Force veteran. He credits the parks for giving him something to look forward to each day.
I love talking with the cast members because the team is what makes the magic. I love going on the attractions, you know, and the music and everything. And even doing like Walt and sitting down and people watching, just enjoying the atmosphere.
Reitz says he plans to continue going to the park daily for as long as he can. I guess whatever makes you smile, right?
That's a lot of times.
How was the most consecutive times you've gone?
Once, twice, maybe.
That's
I guess
right.
once is not consecutive. Twice. There we go. Let's move on.
That's
Coming up
enough.
tonight at Island News at 6, demanding reform.
Yeah, we're talking about a growing concern over prisoners dying while incarcerated during this week's Civil Beat segment. But after the break, work uniforms, you gotta wear them. But what if they give you the hives and cause wheezing? American Airlines is dealing with that very problem. Welcome back. So American Airlines changing uniform suppliers after employees complained that they were getting hives from them. Some even wheezing. Wow. The airline got 3,500 complaints from its 70,000 employees. Tests found the uniforms are safe, but the new supplier We use different fabrics.
Gonna cost them a couple of bucks there.
Yeah, just a few.
Nike will soon start selling its shoes on Amazon. It's a move to stop third parties from selling on Amazon knockoff shoes. Nike's also trying to boost sales after slow growth has dropped its stock. Now, if you've never been interested in yoga before, this just might get you hooked, Mike.
Oh,
just for you.
For you, maybe?
Just for you.
All right, well, for both of us. How about that? Some people in Indiana found the ultimate way to relax, combining yoga and beer. It is for both of us. These yoga beer lovers met at a brew house, and in between downward dog and child's pose, everyone takes a sip of beer. I can get behind that. The instructor says this new class could be great for yoga.
A lot of people think that yoga is this super serious exercise that you can only do if you can touch your toes when you bend backwards, and the beer yoga just makes it fun.
I'm sold. Organizers hope to make beer yoga a more permanent class. All right, Pete, how do deer fight? Almost like humans.
All right.
And we got the video to prove it.
All stand-up, apparently. They don't use the ground game. Look at that. This video taken by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Look at them go there. We've got our money down. I got the one. They both look the same. I
the one with the antlers?
Yeah, the one with the antlers. The officers believe the two bucks were working out their issues over a small food plot. They were fighting over food, Mike.
That's, you know, sometimes that happens in the newsroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, fighting over the calorie counter,
yeah,
as we like to call it.
All the time.
We'll have a good one. We'll see you in 30. Well, Honolulu man died while diving off Oahu's windward coast. The Honolulu Medical Examiner says 41-year-old Dusty William drowned. Honolulu fire officials say he had been night diving last night about 100 yards offshore of Punalu'u Beach Park, and he never returned. His body was found near the Punalu'u River mouth this morning. Meanwhile, let's take a live look outside today. Another hot and sunny one. Island News meteorologist Pete Cajano has a first look at the forecast. Pete.
Yeah, hot day out there, 90 in Kapolei.
Thank you so much, Pete. A 20-year-old man is facing multiple charges tonight after a crime spree in Mililani yesterday. Honolulu police say the suspect assaulted a man with a weapon and harassed a security guard who tried to confront him. Police say the man then ran away and broke into a nearby home. Officers were called to the scene, and while being arrested, he was caught stealing. The man put up a fight with officers before they were able to take him into custody. 105 customers without water in the Kailua area due to a water main break right now. Board of Water Supply crews say the 12-inch main broke on Kanapu'u Drive around midnight. Kanapu'u Drive is closed between Kahako and Paukiki streets. Repairs are expected to last into the night. Well, tonight, medical marijuana dispensaries are one step closer to opening. Today, the Hawaii Department of Health approving production centers for Manoa Botanicals on Oahu and Green Aloha on Kauai. This is Manoa Botanical's second center to get the green light. That means the centers can start cultivating marijuana for medicinal use. Sales can begin when the DOH approves testing results from certified testing centers. Well, Jurassic Park is back, and that means detours for drivers near the Hei'akea small boat harbor until 8 tonight. The harbor was transformed into a movie set with dinosaurs and extras roaming all over the place. This stretch of Kamehameha Highway fronting the harbor will be closed again tomorrow from 8:30 in the morning until 8 at night. Buses are being allowed through, but drivers are being detoured to Kahikili Highway. While the closure is an inconvenience for some, major movie productions add millions of dollars to our local economy.
The next few days here are going to be pretty hectic. Obviously, with the closure of Kam Highway, we're going to have some major issues with regards to trying to get some customers to our place.
Having productions here in Hawaii from the mainland and from internationally really helps our bottom line and our economy and really strengthens our creative economy.
Out of the 600 jobs created for this production, 80% are local hires. Filming is expected to wrap up by early next month. Beaky bikes roll out in exactly 1 week, but the pushback continues to percolate, this time in Kapiolani Park, which operates under special trust rules. Now, the new bike share stands are in place in Chinatown and all the way down through Waikiki. The rent-a-bike kiosks and stations are taking up around 60 parking stalls. At Kapiolani Park, the stands take up a stretch of the free parking areas as well as metered spaces along Kapahulu. And there is some concern about the installation in a grassy area near the zoo. The watchdog group for the park says it's tried to work with the city to find areas outside the trust boundaries, but it appears that Beaky Bikes won't budge on its locations.
You can't park your bike there. Nobody else can use it. They're taking away parking spaces that were meant for the public, and it's all on trust land. It's a nonprofit umbrella over a for-profit company that owns the bikes, owns the racks, and so on.
The city says its attorneys don't believe there's a problem, but the Preservation Society is appealing to the state attorney general's office, which has trust oversight. In the past, the watchdog group has taken the city to court over commercialism in the park and has won. So expect to see the first bikes in the stands early next week. The system is to go live Wednesday morning. Well, one Maui fisherman has a whale, actually a shark of a tale to tell. Nick Wakita was kayak fishing at a Maui hotspot, McKenna Landing. Moments after setting down a plastic lure, he noticed something coming at a high rate of speed towards his line, and you guessed it, it was a shark. Take another look. Wakita thinks it was about 5 feet long. He says he was shocked more than anything because sharks don't usually attack plastic lures, and he had no bait or chum in the water. So you were looking for breakfast, and so was a shark.
Exactly. I've never had them actually come up and whack the boat. And this one came kind of from straight down, too. It didn't come from, like, it wasn't on the surface of the water. It's kind of down below, maybe following my jig or something.
Coming up tonight at 6, Wakita tells us why this story might get him in trouble with his wife. You see how fast he started pedaling as soon as he saw that shark? We all would, though. Still ahead on Island News at 5, breastfeeding is known to have some health perks for babies. Well, now, new insight into how it helps mothers, what all moms should know, just ahead. Plus, a mongoose sighting on Kauai, 7 reports so far. We'll tell you where, plus how officials are taking action.
You're watching KITV Island News at 5.
Welcome back. The Trump travel ban fight continues. Today, the Trump administration filing its final brief urging the U.S. Supreme Court to allow the ban to take effect. SCOTUS is expected to decide this week whether it will hear the case. The travel ban would suspend entry into the U.S. from 6 Muslim-majority countries for 90 days. Hawaii was among the first to block the ban. It takes a vote of 4 justices to take up a case and a vote of 5 to stop the lower court rulings that blocked the ban. Well, breastfeeding's been proven to be healthy for babies, and now some new evidence that it's good for moms as well. ABC's Janae Norman tells us how. An uninvited guest triggered several calls on Kauai's North Shore over the weekend. The Kauai Invasive Species Committee receiving 7 calls involving mongoose sightings in Princeville. Now, all 7 calls were probably about the same mongoose, and it's no big deal on most Hawaii islands, but Kauai, Lanai, and Niihau don't have any, and they don't want any. They prey on birds and their eggs as well as turtle eggs. They can also be carriers of deadly diseases like leptospirosis. The Kauai Invasive Species Committee is working to keep mongoose off the island for good.
If you're raising chickens, it'll attack chickens. They're definitely an agricultural pest as well. But the primary driver in this situation is protecting like Dene geese and the Hawaiian duck, the ground nesting water birds.
Now, Lucy says if mongoose start breeding, it won't take long for them to spread across an entire island. 10 to 15 mongoose sightings are reported a year on Kauai. If you spot a mongoose on Kauai, Lucy recommends taking a picture and reporting it to the KISC or HDOA immediately. All right, time to see how that evening rush hour is going. Pete's back with a look at the roadways. Pete?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at those drive times. And you may welcome them because it's going to be hot out there, so maybe it'll cool us off just a bit.
Yeah. Trade showers, okay, especially when you got to get cooled off.
Yeah, when it's close to 90, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, all right, thank you so much, Pete. Well, Hawaiian Electric Company is partnering with the Outdoor Circle to help people experience Hawaii through technology. Now, HECO donated $10,000 to allow the organization to take 360-degree images of places like Waimea Botanical Gardens on Oahu's North Shore. An Outdoor Circle employee will carry a 50-pound backpack outfitted with 15 cameras. Think of it as Google Street View, but for Hawaii's scenic sites. Images will be available online through Google in the fall. How cool is that?
Yeah, imagine you see that thing walking by you.
Yeah, you're just gonna be like, wait, what?
Where are we? Now you know what it is.
It's a movie being filmed.
Yeah. Imagine this. Instead of paying for a gym membership, imagine, Mike, if it paid for you.
Yeah. Do you even lift, bro? As long as your workout. Or another way of looking at it, getting paid to lose weight. It's all coming up on Island News at 6. We'll tell you about apps and programs right here in the islands designed to do just that. Plus, Honolulu's police commission says their consultant hired to help find a new police chief has backed out. The commission now searching for a replacement. More on that story and more coming up on Island News at 6 with Robert K. Cowell. But after the break, imagine responding to a call of a pig on the loose, and that is what you find. How one cop handled it.
Broadmoor Police, a Massachusetts police officer got quite a surprise when responding to a call about a loose pig.
Hey there, buddy. How we doing? Yeah. You gotta go on a diet.
Is that real? That's real?
It's a big guy.
It's a huge pig.
Yeah.
And it escaped and hung out in someone's front yard. It weighed, get this, about 1,000 pounds.
I didn't really know what to expect, but in my mind, I was thinking it was probably a smaller pig, you know, maybe potbelly pig, maybe a pet. And I had envisioned it being pink and, you know, cute. I noticed out of the corner of my eye, I saw this giant shadowy figure, and I turned and looked, and that's when I saw this huge pig. I was not getting out of the cruiser. No.
And who can blame him?
Yeah.
The pig's name is Bruno. He's escaped 3, maybe 4 times since he was a baby. His owner also says he doesn't know how big Bruno was gonna get.
Escaped 3 or 4 times.
I think it's easy for that pig to escape.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Need to fortify that pen there. I don't know.
Like a dam.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us for Island News at 5. Don't forget you can weigh in on our stories by liking us on Facebook.
And we're coming back in 30 minutes. We'll see you at Island News at 6.
See ya. Thank you so much, Moani. The man accused of sexually assaulting a woman at Schofield Barracks on Sunday, charged on 4 counts. 26-year-old Al-Qadar Tynes faces first-degree sex assault and felony abuse of a family member. Police say Tynes allegedly struck the 24-year-old victim with a dangerous instrument before assaulting her. He was arrested on base on Davis Street. He's being held on $500,000 bail. And 5 men who failed to register as sex offenders were charged by the Hawaii Attorney General. One man is currently in custody. The AG issuing bench warrants for the other 4, Ted Haudenschild, James Kula III, Sheldon Collier, and Kenneth Scott Char. Anyone with information on their location, call the Attorney General's Investigations Division at 586-1240. Well, some big surf and king tides returning to the islands. Let's check in with KITV meteorologist Pete Cajano, tracking it all. Pete.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
Hawaii Island police found a 21-year-old man, a Puna man, wanted for an outstanding bench warrant and questioning in other incidents. Keanu Kraus was arrested at a residence in Hawaiian Paradise Park and taken to a Hilo cell block. He's charged with 7 offenses relating to motor vehicle thefts. His bail is set at $160,000. And full military service today for Army Colonel Kirk R. Slaughter, who was run over and killed by a fishing boat at Waianae Harbor just last week. Stationed at Fort Shafter, Slaughter was surfing with his teenage daughter when the incident happened. He'll be taken back to his home state of Nebraska for burial. The longtime residents of a Nu'uanu neighborhood are taking their street back. Families along Wood Street say that parking has become a problem that ambulance and fire trucks just can't get through. They already had 1 fire on the street, and with many elderly residents in the area, they worry that in an emergency, their lives will be on the line. The Nu'uanu residents say the problem is when outsiders park their cars on the street and take the bus into work because they don't want to pay for parking downtown. They fear if additional restrictions aren't put in place, the situation will only get worse.
The parking rate's going to double in Chinatown, downtown, and Waikiki. The winter people are going to start parking more over here. You know, park the cars here and catch the bus, go downtown work. It's cheaper.
So that's your fear?
Yeah, it's going to be terrible, this place.
Signs already prohibit parking too close to the curb, but many people ignore the warning. The city is considering a parking ban on one side of the street. Residents say if 2 cars park in their street, it leaves only 8 feet of space to pass. An ambulance is 9 feet 8 inches wide, a fire truck 10 feet. The narrow passage also makes it hard for garbage trucks, mail carriers, and buses to pass. More on those other parking woes in Nu'uanu coming up tonight at 6. Well, people in the Ali'i Heights neighborhood of Kona woke up without water this morning. Service has been restored, but it's a problem that other communities in North Kona could face soon if they don't conserve. The Department of Water Supply imposing mandatory water restrictions in January. People are supposed to use just 25% less water than usual, but a lot of folks aren't conserving, and that's making matters worse. There are 13 wells that service North Kona. 4 of them are broken.
It's primarily due to the length of time that it takes to get one of these wells back up and running. They didn't all fail at the same time, but just because of the, I guess, the unfortunate timing, we do have 4 out of the 13 currently out of service.
Okamoto says all the wells should be replaced by the end of the year, but if another well goes out before then, water may have to be rationed. It may be turned off in various neighborhoods for hours at a time to help conserve. North Kona residents can help by taking shorter showers, not washing cars as often, and reducing the water that they use on lawns and gardens. All right, still ahead on KITV Island News at 5. Applications for disabled parking placards are on the rise. We'll show you what impact it has on parking lots around the island. And it's a vitamin pill that millions are taking every day, but many could be taking too much. We'll tell you why they're paying the price. And charting a new course, ride-sharing company Uber making a major change to their service today, one they've objected to for years.
You're watching KITV Island News at 5.
Welcome back. Tens of thousands additional disabled parking placards have been issued in Hawaii without the state setting aside more disabled parking spaces. Over the past 5 years, the number of disabled parking permits has jumped 25%. More than 106,000 were issued this year, which means 1 in 10 drivers has a permit. Because of the increase in placards, the state is streamlining the disabled parking process. It will no longer mail out renewal notices and will be adding more staff to better track who's using those parking placards. But what's not being added? More disabled parking spots.
The number is increasing as our population ages.
We have 10% of the population holding a placard, and we only have 4% of the parking available to those individuals. One would think that we don't have enough.
Now, adding to the congestion, able-bodied drivers who take up those disabled spaces, but a small group of volunteers routinely patrol our parking lots to educate drivers and cite those who abuse or misuse the parking permits. Those fines ranging from $260 to $500. One good sign for those searching for disabled parking, while there has been a big jump in the number of placards issued, the number of those breaking the rules has actually gone down in recent years. A woman stealing thousands of dollars from an elderly couple sentenced to 18 months in jail. The Maui News reporting that 24-year-old Jocelyn Asuncion used the couple's personal information to open 19 credit card accounts and steal more than $26,000. She was also placed on 4 years probation and ordered to perform 200 hours of community service. The judge denying Asunction's request for a chance to keep the convictions off her record because she hadn't adequately apologized to the couple that she victimized. The Maui News also reporting the county's electronics recycling program has been suspended for 5 weeks starting July 1st. A new processing and shipping system will be implemented during that time. The e-cycling program normally ships out one 40-foot container of e-waste every week. Residents and businesses on Maui and Molokai are being asked to hold their e-waste until the facility reopens. The program expected to resume August 5th. And Kamehameha Highway fronting Heiakea Small Boat Harbor is closed tomorrow and Thursday. The filming of the Universal Studios movie Ancient Futures will take place between 8:30 a.m. and 8 p.m. That stretch of road will also be closed next week, Wednesday and Thursday, for filming. The bus and emergency vehicles will still be allowed through the closure area. Access to the harbor for boaters and businesses will remain open. Well, it's the vitamin pill that millions of Americans take every day, and many could be taking too much of it and possibly paying the price. ABC News' Janae Norman has today's Medical Minute.
It's called the Sunshine.
Well, tipping your driver, it's about to become part of your Uber experience. It's part of the company's campaign called 180 Days of Change, and it launched today. They've objected to tipping in the past, but after a series of crises in recent months, from sexual harassment claims to executives leaving the company, is pledging to make improvements. The option to tip the driver rolls out today on the mainland and expected to expand to Hawaii by the end of July. Well, McDonald's of Hawaii is soon to be adding a classic East Coast sandwich to its menu. The lobster roll debuts in island stores beginning June 28th. It's made with 100% real North Atlantic lobster, and it's served on a toasted roll. It's a limited time only offering ending in July or while supplies last. All right, time to see how the evening rush hour is going. Pete's back with an update on the roadways. Pete.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Well, moving in from the southwest, we're going to talk more about that one coming up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, all that humidity. It's been very interesting. You know, all of a sudden it starts raining and then the humidity kicks in and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah, the rain cools it off a bit, but then the humidity goes up, so it's, you know, catch-22 there.
It's wacky. Yeah. All right, thank you so much, Pete. Well, coming up tonight on KITV Island News at 6, a cold case in New Hampshire has a new Hawaii tie. 4 murder victims unidentified for the past 30 years. Tonight, how you can help authorities. Plus, tracking the progress of a certain tree. It's possible, and it's all in the palm of your hand. We'll show you the new tree tracker tonight at 6, but after the break, imagine driving down the highway when something creepy slithers from under the hood. We'll show you what a couple of guys in Texas encountered while on the road. Meanwhile, if you're a Barbie fan or maybe just a hipster, today's your lucky day.
That's right, new Ken dolls now on the market.
Oh, joy.
Mike's excited about this. Toy maker Mattel changing their iconic doll to include 7 skin tones, slim and broad body types, including dad bod.
Finally.
On top of all that, 6 new hairstyles, including, this is what I've been waiting for, the man bun. Cornrows as well. The move coming
big cornrows guy, PK.
A year after the company unveiled a more diverse set of Barbies, which helped boost sales by 7%.
But nothing with the scruff.
Nothing with the scruff,
the
I know.
Cage
They've
Barbie.
got the man bun, though. I like that.
Yeah? Big fan of the man bun?
I love the man bun. Now, for some, stuff of nightmares right here.
Yeah, take a look at this video. 2 Texas men driving on a highway when a bull snake peeked its head out from under the hood. The snake somehow slithered all the way on the hood, hanging on best it could. The men pull over to the side, but the snake starts heading back underneath. They start driving again. They're shrieking, freaking out. No word on whether the snake made it safely off the truck.
Yeah.
What would you do if you saw that?
I don't know if you want to keep on driving, if you want to stop. I mean, I don't.
I think I'd stop.
Yeah,
just
I think
in
it's
case it
probably
starts coming into the car while you're on the road. That could be dangerous.
Well, I mean, I bet the snake's probably a little bit more scared though. He's what's going on.
Depends if you have a man bun.
Yeah. There
if you have the man bun, might scare him away.
It all comes together.
Good logic there. Hey, thank you so much for joining us for KITV Island News at 5. We'll be back in 30 minutes.
And we'll see you then.